Dear students, today we will study the poem Where the Mind is Without Fear, written by Rabindranath Tagore. As you know, Rabindranath Tagore, popularly called as Gurudev, was a well known political and social thinker, poet, and he was deeply cultured. He always upheld the social values, the cultural values, and the religious values. In every walks of life, he honored the good qualities of life. So, as far as his life duration is concerned, he was born in 1861 and he lived up to 1941. He was a poet, a writer, novelist, philosopher who earned for modern India a place on the world literary scene. Although he wrote in Bengali primarily, but translated many of his works into English. In the process, wrote them afresh. Gitanjali and The Gardener are the important volumes of poetry that he rendered in English. The songs of Gitanjali, Tagore's best known work internationally, are mostly devotional poems in the Indian tradition. Tagore became the first non European to win the Nobel Prize for Literature in 1913. His memoric personality and appearance, flowing beard, and the otherworldly attire earned him a prophet like reputation in the West. He was a cultural reformer who modernized Bengali art by rejecting rigidity of form and style. Tagore was highly influential in introducing the best of Indian culture to the West and vice versa also. He is generally considered the outstanding creative genius of modern India. Gitanjali, Gora, and Gar Bahre are his best known works. His verse, short stories, and novels were acclaimed for their naturalism, lyricism, and colloquialism. His compositions were chosen by two nations as national anthems, India's Jana Gana Mana and Bangladesh's Amar Sonar Bangla. Tagore was a man far ahead of his times, means he was very far-sighted person. His views on culture, gender, poverty, education, and freedom remain relevant even today. As far as the poem is concerned, as far as this poem is concerned, where the mind is without fear is taken from Gitanjali. It appears as the 35th poem in the collection. It is one of Tagore's most anthologized poems. The English version of Gitanjali, containing 103 poems, was brought out in a limited edition by the India Society in London. The Bengali version of the collection contains 157 poems. The poem expresses the poet's reflective spirit and is a simple prayer for his country, but the prayer as a universal message. Tagore dreams of a truly global society where there are no boundaries of caste and creed. The poet prays not just for territorial independence for his country, but also for its spiritual and intellectual freedom. He wants his country to rise above petty concerns and narrow prejudices and soar high above into the world of freedom of thought and action based on truth and fearlessness. The poem was written during the time when India was under British rule and the people of India were fighting for freedom. The poem gave a lot of strength to all those who were struggling for India's independence. The poet's prayer for a nation free from oppression and corruption has made this poem immortal. So, this is all about the poem and the poet. And students, you will really enjoy. You will not only learn a lot from this poem, but you will really enjoy the music of the poem. How nice! What a fine rhythm and music is there in this poem. Let me recite the poem and then we will further explain the lines. Let me recite. Where the mind is without fear and the head is held high, where knowledge is free, where the world has not taken broken up into fragments by narrow domestic walls, where words come out from the depth of truth, where tireless striving stretches its arms towards perfection, where the clear stream of reason has not lost its way into the dreary desert sand of dead habit, where the mind is led forward by thee into ever widening thought and action, into that heaven of freedom, my Father, let my country awake. So, what a beautiful poem! Really, it is full of music and full of sweetness. Now, we will understand the meaning and message given by Rabindranath Tagore through this poem. Let me again, line by line, explain you. Where the mind is without fear and the head is held high, where the mind is without fear and the head is held high, where knowledge is free, where the world has not been broken up into fragments by narrow domestic walls, the poet prays to the Almighty for the independence, for the spiritual and social freedom, and also the political freedom of the country. He says that my country, hey, O God, my country should be such where the countrymen are free from any type of fear. And since they will be bold and without fear, naturally their head will be held high with pride. The countrymen give that much strength to my countrymen that their fear from their minds is removed and the confidence should raise their head high in confidence. He prays that the knowledge, the flow of knowledge should be free There should not be any bondage, any barriers in the flow of knowledge. Means all my countrymen should get education freely, education and knowledge freely, and there should not be any restriction based on caste, creed, religion, region, or likewise. He further prays to God that the world, the world should be such. O God, give such a blessing that the world is not divided. The world is not broken into fragments. Fragments, the world is not divided and by the narrow domestic wall. Narrow domestic walls means the barriers in forms of caste, creed, religion, language, region, and even the political boundaries. So, Tagore prays here for the whole world. He prays to God for universal brotherhood. See, the prayer primarily is intended for the freedom, for the political, social, and spiritual freedom of India. Freedom of India, but also Tagore has prayed for universal brotherhood. This shows that Tagore is not only a nationalist poet, he is nationalist in true sense, but at the same time, he also wishes the prosperity, the well being of the whole world. Means he is he loves his country, his countrymen, but at the same time, he has a great heart. He has a heart full of love for universally for the world fraternity. He honors universal brotherhood at the same spirit. Further, let us proceed where words come out from the depth of truth, where tireless striving stretches its arms towards perfection. He prays to Almighty that give that strength to my countrymen, where the words come out from the depth of truth means in the behavior, in the outward and inward both way the countrymen should be honest to themselves and to their brothers, and they should learn to honor truth. At the same time, they must be a hard working class, not lazy class, because when the poem was written at that time the condition of countrymen was very pathetic. They were gripped into various considerations such as superstitions, such as consideration of caste, creed, religion, and region, language, and they were busy fighting each other through these consideration. So, such a pathetic condition, social condition, gave a deep shock to Gurudev Rabindranath Tagore. He was very pained at such a situation of his countrymen, and in such a situation, he knew that country can never gain political freedom from the tyranny of the foreign rulers. So he prayed both way. He prayed first that the countrymen should be free from all these evil things, evil habits, and they are also free from laziness. If they will not work hard, then definitely the country will not progress. So here he prays that his countrymen should be continuously working hard and socially, politically, religiously, and spiritually. And also, the prosperity of the country is restored. So, till they will not work hard, such things cannot be achieved. Further, he says, where the clear stream of reason has not lost its way into the dreary desert sand of dead habit. Dead habit means superstitions, means old traditions, meaningless traditions. Desert sand means hollow, hollow things which grip the mind. So, as a river loses its direction into the sand desert, in the same way, the countrymen were confused. There was no clarity in their minds. Without clarity of mind, without clear direction, things cannot improve. So he prays to God that his countrymen should be free from all confusions. Their thinking must be very clear. Their reasoning should be very clear so that they can have a clear direction for the progress of themselves, for the progress of society, and for the country as a whole. If such a clear thinking, if such a clear direction is not there, then definitely the countrymen cannot be united, and without unity, the country cannot gain the freedom from the foreign rulers. So, at that time, when the society was in a state of confusion, these lines were very mighty. These comforted and inspired lakhs of countrymen. Further, where the mind is led forward by thee into ever widening thought and action. Through these lines, Tagore prays that the thinking of the countrymen should be very wide. They should not be narrow minded. They must be generous in their thinking, and when they will be generous in thinking, the thinking will be wide, then action will be also fruitful and useful. So he prays to the Almighty for spreading of the horizon of thought and action of the countrymen into that heaven of freedom. My Father, let my country awake. And with all these dreams, with all these wishes, he prays once again to the Almighty that in such a nice environment of prosperity, of knowledge, of good thinking, of universal brotherhood, and a society which is free from all type of barriers, all type of evil things such as superstitions, such as dead habits, means all traditional values, all traditions which are no more relevant. So, in such a beautiful, prosperous, happy, and comfortable environment, his country should awake. So, it's a very nice prayer by Gurudev Tagore for the countrymen, for the people of India, and also for the people of the whole entire world. Means he has prayed for universal brotherhood also, that people of one country and people of other country, they should develop a feeling of brotherhood, and the entire world should live in peace and prosperous environment. So it's a very beautiful prayer by Gurudev Rabindranath Tagore for the countrymen. So let's go through some textual questions. The first question: what does Tagore mean by narrow domestic walls? Narrow domestic walls means various barriers which hinder the countrymen in developing brotherhood, in developing love and affection, and these are hindrance in their progress. Mainly, he hints towards superstition, towards barriers of caste, creed, language, religion, region, and likewise. Because at that time, India under Britishers, at that time, Indian society was such, rather you can say, in a very sleepy way. People were very lazy. People used to fight among themselves on the basis of caste, creed, religion, region, language, and as a whole, the country was divided. So, Tagore terms these barriers as narrow domestic walls. How can people achieve perfection? As according to Tagore, people can achieve perfection when they will be free from laziness, when they will be a very hard working class, when they will be full of knowledge and their goal and aim will be clear, means their thinking will be clear, they will be free from all type of confusions in their mind. At that time, naturally, they will work hard, they will have a clear direction, they will free from all domestic barriers, and in such a way then the society will achieve perfection. What importance does Tagore ascribe to knowledge, truth, and reason? Yes, truth, reason, and knowledge, very important aspects of progress. If the people will not honor the truth, if their behavior will not be true, and the knowledge, if the people will not be full of knowledge, and if they will not work as per reasoning, what is wrong, what is right, then in such a way nothing can be achieved. People cannot be united, and if they will not be united, then definitely they cannot get political freedom from the British rulers, and even the society will not progress. People, the countrymen, if they are not full of knowledge, if they are not behaving in a truthful manner, and if they are not equipped with reasoning power, then such a society can gain nothing. So, for the freedom of, for the political freedom, for the social and spiritual progress, a society must be full of knowledge and equipped with truth and reasoning. Why does the poet repudiate the idea of narrow domestic walls? The poet strongly condemns the narrow domestic walls because these barriers, they hinder progress, and progress of people individually and also as a society and country as a whole. So he criticizes, he he condemns the narrow domestic wall very strongly. What type of truth, what type of strength does the poet pray for? The poet prays to Almighty for the strength of mind, for the strength of not only physical strength, but strength of mind, strength of knowledge, strength of reasoning, and the clear vision. He prays for his countrymen. What kind of freedom from Tagore visualized for his country? He visualized for his countrymen not only the political freedom but also the social freedom, also the spiritual freedom and freedom from corruption, because the Britishers, they always advocated for their culture, for their beneficial selfish aims, for the fulfillment of their selfish goals. So Tagore prays to Almighty not only for political freedom but also for cultural freedom, social freedom, and for spiritual freedom. Write a note on Tagore's concept of the heaven of freedom. The heaven of freedom. Yes, the heaven of freedom means the political freedom, the social freedom, the cultural freedom, and the spiritual freedom, and unitedly that will create such a beautiful atmosphere, such a nice and prosperous environment, happy environment, that that can be truly called as the heaven of freedom. Comment on the wide gap between the reality of contemporary India and Tagore's concept of India. Yes, Tagore visualized that his country should gain political freedom. His country should gain freedom from all social barriers, superstitions, barriers of caste, creed, religion, region, language, all which bind and hinder the progress of the society. So, Tagore wished that his countrymen should be free from all such hindering considerations. Their thinking should be wide, their actions should be generous, and there should be reasoning in every action. So, countrymen, they may follow any religion, they may speak any language, they may belong from any region, they may be, but they may have different beliefs and faiths, but they must be generous, they must be truthful, and their reasoning, their action should be generous one. So they may remain united socially and politically as a country, and then the country will be so strong that country will be so strong that it will never, it will be free from foreign rulers, and no no foreign invader can have the craze to again enslave the country. So, but the vision of Tagore has been achieved. The contemporary India is such as visualized Tagore? No. Even though India got political freedom in 1947, but still the country is not free from all those barriers which Tagore visualized. Still, countrymen fight on base of religion, on base of language, region. We find various communal rights outbreaking in different types of country time to time. Selfish politicians, they divide the society for their own vote bank, for utilizing people, section of people as their vote banks. So the country today has not achieved what Tagore visualized, means the society is not free from all those evil things which were strongly condemned, which were strongly criticized by Tagore. So, still there is a wide gap. Still, there exists a wide gap between the reality of contemporary India and Tagore's concept of India. Define and discuss, define and discuss various political devices. So you have seen the political device of alliterations, repetition, assonance and rhyme have, have been used very nicely by the poet, and a good rhythm and sweetness has been created in the poem. It's a really a prayer, a song full of sweetness and full of beauty. So I hope you have enjoyed and you have learned a lot from Gurudev's this poem. Thank you, have a nice day.